Ahoy, hoy, Pancasters! I'm Pavo.
I'm Neil.
And welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly dose of all your Star Wars, DC and Marvel news. And we're going to be even faster than we normally are this week. So we're going to kick off straight away with...
Marvel!
I thought you said DC. Okay, we'll do Marvel news then.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just keeping you on your toes.
Okay, that's good. Right. So we start with Stan Lee cameos. Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson has revealed to EW on Friday that it's a big deal for a 93-year-old man to go to a movie set and spend a day shooting. So that's why James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, has now shot not one, not two, not three, but 4 Stan Lee cameos. It hasn't said which
for the
movies.
one movie?
Well, no, it doesn't say which movies, but it's going to be because, like he said, he's a 93-year-old man, so he obviously
put him in the bank, as they say.
Yeah, and we hate to say it, but he's not going to be around forever. So it's 4 movies. So the question I'd like to ask you: what 4 movies do you think they're going to be?
Well, it'll be Thor. I bet you he'll be in Thor somehow. Black Panther. And he's got to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and the Avengers, probably.
So only one of the Avengers?
Well, so far, if it's only 4, he's going to be in Guardians.
But they're making both Avengers movies back to back, aren't they?
So there you go. There's his cameo. One shot. He might only take one shot, film. And he's called it 4 filmings. 4 acting presentations.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
No.
So he's done it 4 times, but one time he might have done 2 different bits in the same sitting, ready for the Avengers.
Right. Okay.
So he's only filmed 4 times. That's
okay. And your favourite Stan Lee cameo?
Fantastic Four.
Right. Okay.
Do you remember when he pushes the bit of the thing? No, that's Spider-Man, isn't it?
What? Where he's in the library? Spider-Man's when he's in the library and he's got his headphones on and everything's going on behind him.
No, Spider-Man 1's where he pushes somebody out of the way, isn't it, when something's falling?
Yeah.
The lift chap, when the thing gets in the lift and he's the lift operator. That was quite funny, that one.
Right, okay. I quite like the very first, the Iron Man one, when he was, nice to see you, Hef.
Oh, yeah.
And he turns around and is Stan Lee.
That's right, yeah.
That's a good one. And then
funny.
also the latest... from Civil War, when I've got to pass off a Mr. Stank.
Oh, yeah.
That was quite a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, Doctor Strange. Now, obviously, all of our American friends, people overseas, haven't seen the movie yet, but we had it a week early.
A week.
And I've already seen it. You haven't seen it yet?
Not yet,
I
just haven't had a chance.
No, well, the international box office figures are in. Deadline reports that Doctor Strange has scored an $86 million opening weekend across 33 markets, with the biggest share coming from Korea, where it managed an impressive 18.1 million.
That is good.
Doctor Strange has debuted 49% ahead of Ant-Man, 37% ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy, and 23% ahead of Captain America Winter Soldier. And it also scored the biggest IMAX opening for October, knocking Gravity off the top spot.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, the Captain America doesn't surprise me in the Asian market. Things with America in the title never seem to do that well. And I think it's that sort of film where it's mystical, isn't it?
It is mystical. It is very trippy. It is a very trippy movie. And
I can imagine that their audience going for that sort of film. So that's why I think it's done so well. I really do want to see it, and I will see it, obviously.
Yeah, it's... I came out of it the same way I came out with Ant-Man. That I wasn't particularly sort of... Like when I came out of Guardians of the Galaxy, it was all, oh my God, that was amazing. And also Civil War and also like Winter Soldier. But I think watching it again, I would get a lot more out of it. I'm not saying it's not a bad film because it's not.
Is it as much a departure for Marvel?
No, it still feels all the way through like a Marvel movie.
Right.
And there are some really nice, clever little in-joke bits that they've got in it that like... if you're not listening, you may miss.
Right.
But it is. I think there are certain parts that are a little bit underwritten. All the way through it, I did feel this feels like a Marvel movie.
Right.
But it also is the same way as like Guardians of the Galaxy. It feels like a Marvel movie, but it is a different kind of Marvel movie. You can also see where they've injected the humour, and where Dan Harmon came in. They did a few rewrites. You can sort of see where those bits are. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to it.
But I'm not going to say any more than that.
No. Right, so that
So we do Star Wars.
moves us swiftly over to Star Wars. So one of the questions after The Force Awakens was who or what is Rey's parent, I should say. And theories flew around about who it could be. We've all heard it could be Obi-Wan, it could be Luke himself, everything like that. Well, nobody knows, of course, yet. Well, somebody does.
Yes, somebody does.
Us as the general public don't know yet. So we know that Jin and Rey are now not related. They've confirmed that, and that was revealed by the Lucasfilm Story Group member Pablo Hidalgo, who was at the Star Wars celebration.
We saw him.
We did. So episode 8 should be telling us more on this, according to Daisy Ridley. When she was out promoting a documentary she narrated called The Eagle Huntress. She was asked a question to which she replied, "We will see in a year, sit tight," on that question. So that means to me that they are going to start revealing her whereabouts, her who and what and where, isn't it? So,
well, I mean, to be honest, I would think that she would be asking the question. That'd be one of the first questions that she would ask. Luke straight away.
Well, you would hope they get into that conversation, but who knows how it's going to pan out and where it's going to go? I really don't know, but it's going to be throughout it, isn't it? It's going to be.
I would think so. I
don't think there'll be. Do you think they're going to do like an Empire Strikes Back big reveal? Rey, I am your father.
If it goes the way that they think it's going to go, that Force Awakens was so much like Episode 4, will Episode 5 be the template for The Force Awakens?
Well, they've already sort of hinted and then retracted that.
So, well, yeah, but I think that was more just,
that
was more Adam Driver just saying something and then realising that people could take it the wrong way. This is obviously going to be a darker movie because
it's gotta be.
Just in a 3-act structure, the second part is a bit darker, but they may leave it to the third part. I mean, I was like a lot of people straight away. You'd said, "Oh, she's Luke's daughter."
That's what I mean. A lot of people.
But I think the more and more that you go on to it, she doesn't need to be Luke's daughter. It's the same as them saying, "Oh, well, she's going to be Jin's." It was Jin Erso and that, and what there doesn't need to be a link just because they've done 2 films with female stars or female leads.
I mean, I think not necessarily we'll find out who her parents are, but we'll find the connection of what she has to the Force, maybe.
I think so.
It could be, rather than being somebody's parents, it could be Obi-Wan's grandchild or something like that. Who knows? Well, somebody does.
People do, yeah. And then people have then sort of gone away from thinking that, is she not Han and Leia's child? But that whole thing of when Leia met her at the end of Force Awakens, there would have been some kind of recognition, I'm sure.
And
maybe not with Han, because Han might not have known, but Leia would have known.
You'd hope so.
So my bet is that she's not related to any of them.
I have a sneaking suspicion Obi-Wan's going to make some sort of... they're going to reference Obi-Wan.
Okay. He's been a dirty little Jedi while he's been on Tatooine then.
He's got to do something all those years.
But he's not allowed to do things like that.
A Jedi stopped him having the naughties?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well, you watch the movies.
They can't not have them.
Yes, they're not allowed to. That's why, Anakin was like, it was all very cloak and dagger with
I thought that was
Padme.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stain for that long. Nobody can. Anyway, so Nissan have come out with announced their promotional Rogue One spot on TV with the release of the Nissan Rogue in 2017. Now, the full integrated campaign features Star Wars themed ads, social media promos, and it is now all kicking off with that. So the money Nissan must have spent on this trailer is probably huge. I think it's a bit of marketing genius to do a car. It's a great name, a Rogue.
It's a very good advert.
It is a great advert. A lot of money spent on it.
And we get a good look at K2SO.
We do.
What do you think of
Alan
Tudyk?
Tudyk. He looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does look good. I can't. What we've seen on the Rogue One trailer, and I know it's digressing a little bit. You can't fault the look of anything on there.
No,
even like the little creature shooting whatever he's shooting, just looks really good.
It just looks like it's... I mean, obviously, the picture is high definition and 4K or 5K or IMAX or whatever, but it looks like it was shot around the time that Star Wars was shot. It looks straight out of... They've just had the sets there at Elstree, and they thought, right, we'll just go and shoot there.
Well, that's the labour of love. You can tell that the fanboys have now got involved in Star Wars because they're bringing it back to where it was. Not saying anything wrong with the prequels. We keep saying that there's troubles with them, and there's a few problematic moments, but they are, by and large, a good film. But these are going back to what the Star Wars universe is all about, and I think fair play and lovely job.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, finally we finish. We're supposed to start with, but we're going to finish with DC news. Right, here's another one where I need to try and work out how to say a name. Back in April, screenwriter Seth Graham Greene was set to... Sorry, Seth. What did I say?
Seth Graham.
Seth Graham Smith. Sorry. See, and that wasn't even the one I was going to have trouble with. Was set to make his feature directing debut on the film, but parted ways with the project. Then in June, Warner Brothers hired dope director Rick Famuyiwa. Do you think we should say that's right?
Yeah, Famuyiwa. Yeah,
to helm the picture. He has now left the picture due to creative differences.
This creative differences thing.
The Hollywood Reporter has reported that the director and studio have parted ways. There isn't much in the way of details, basically just saying creative differences. Sources say that the dope director's vision of making a movie with more edge clashed with the studio's take.
What does that mean? More edge? More adult?
Well, I mean, I don't know. The one thing that... It's great that a lot of these... like Marvel and DC and even Star Wars, if you look at the directors they're choosing a lot of these young directors, not like the journeymen that have been around and done loads of different things. But I think, as we saw with Edgar Wright and Ant-Man, they seem to struggle with the fact that it has to... They're very, very structured parameters that they have to work in regarding the whole picture of what's going on.
Exactly, and you think to yourself, why are these new directors struggling if that is the case? Because they've announced there's a structure in place till 2020 or whenever it goes on to. So they know they need to fill certain beats all the way through. They have to do it.
Yeah.
But this creative difference is such a generic term.
I know. I mean, look, again, we say nobody knows. The people involved know what the problem was and why it has happened. I mean, the thing is with the Flash movie, right from the start, people have said, well, why are they having why is Ezra Miller Flash when they've got a TV Flash that's really good? Yeah. And it's been beset with problems all right from the very start. I've liked the little bits I've seen of the Flash in the different trailers and the bits and pieces that we've seen of him. I don't know much about the Flash, so as I don't know a lot about the DC characters overall anyway.
Well, it's all going to be
main
new to us. I mean, we're talking about the movie world, so obviously there's a whole slew of comics out there. We're talking of the movie world. Yeah. And Flash hasn't really been on the screen. I think there was one TV movie in the 90s or something, but it's never really been, so we need to learn. So what they produce for us is a first-time thing, and this will be for a lot of people, their first introduction to the Flash. So I know they've got the TV series and everything like that, but not everybody wants to sit down and watch a 22-episode series all the time. They just want their hour and a half pure popcorn entertainment of a movie. So they need to get this right for this character. They do, absolutely. And the final story of this week, Frank Miller, who is a legend when it comes to Batman, obviously the author of The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. Gave his view on what he thinks the Batman movie, the Ben Affleck movie coming out soon, should be. And his take was that his dream would be to make it much smaller. He said to lose the toys and to focus more on the mission and to use the city a great deal more because he's got a loving relationship with the city he's protecting, and unlike Superman, with connection to crime, is intimate. It has been ever since his parents were murdered. How do you feel about that? I mean, I must admit, I've always thought that Batman is supposed to be the greatest detective in the world. It would be nice for one of his movies not to be one of the big like the Joker and people like that. Yeah. To do what is everyday Well, what he
thing
does,
was.
what he goes out and detects and works out.
And then works out what it is, and then it's maybe just like a crime syndicate in Gotham or something, and then he just does that.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, so far we know that it's only Deathstroke in the Batman movie, so it could well go down that route.
It could.
And I hope they use Gotham, I nearly said New York, Gotham more, and show more cityscape and everything. And less of the gadgets and the cars.
All you want to do is see Batman kicking ass. That's all you want to see.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
There you go. Well, that's this week's news.
Yeah, very brief, very quick. If you've got any comments, feel free to drop any down below.
Absolutely.
On what we've got to say. Or likewise, you could email us.
Yeah, if you've seen Doctor Strange, tell us what you think. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange and you're in America, or if you want to do a little bit of a game with us, how much do you think Doctor Strange is going to take at the US box office for the weekend? How much do you think?
Show. It's going to go over the 100 mil mark.
Do you think?
Easily. Yeah, I think so.
Go on, give us a score.
I'm going to go 100 mil then.
100 mil. I'm going to go 80 mil. I think it'll take 80 million this weekend. So please leave your comments what you think. Also, who do you think is Rey's parents?
Yes.
Give that at the comments. What else did we have? Favourite Stan Lee cameo? Tell us what you think your favourite Stan Lee cameo is. And where can people get hold of us, Neil?
Absolutely. So obviously we got our own YouTube channel, which you are watching now. Please do subscribe to it. And like we say, leave comments and become our friends. You can also go to our website, which is www.pancast.co.uk, which will lead you to everything that we do, otherwise podcasts and all. And if you want to contact us, not on here, and just ask us anything, do email us at pancast@live.com.
And you can find us on Twitter at PancastPods, on Instagram at Pancast. We're also on Facebook. And as we've done since we've started doing these, we have a little saying at the end. And it's Stu Grant this week who's given us the little DC bit. So may the force of Thor's hammer keep you Superman.